Welcome to Skill Tree, where we learn how to do just about everything from the internet. Okay, check this out. 10 of clubs, Jack of spades, 7 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 4 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 2 of clubs, 6 of clubs. I can do that with the entire deck. What's more, as long as I don't shuffle it, I could pick this deck up a week from tomorrow and still remember the correct order. This feat of Sherlockian memory is all thanks to a mental method called loci, also known as a memory palace. The best part? It's super easy to learn, so if you're ready to improve your thinky boxes, let's level up this skill. The nuts and bolts of this method are really simple. All you have to do is create images for the things you want to remember and then place them along a route that you know really well. This works because you as a human being are better at processing visual and spatial information, especially when that info elicits an emotional response of some sort. For example, I want you to try to remember what you had for lunch last Tuesday, as much detail as possible, right? Now I want you to try to remember your first kiss. If you're like most people, your lunch last week, a bit foggy if you remember it at all. The kiss, on the other hand, you probably remember in pretty vivid detail. Remember where you were, what you were wearing, what they were wearing, hopefully who they were. This is because that event was like a big deal for you at the time. You were nervous or you were excited, so it imprinted more on your memory. And your mind is great at things like this. It can rebuild whole stories in your head. As Carl Sagan said, your mind is a very big place in a very small space. What the mind isn't particularly great at is storing random strings of information like shopping lists or combinations to locks. On a side note, click here if you forgot the combination to your lock. So the technique of loci really comes in handy for little random pieces of information like this. This is how it's done. Step 1. Picture a place you know really well. It can be your house, your route to work. It can even be a fictional place like from a book or a video game. For example, my mind palace is Whiterun from Skyrim. Whatever you choose, just make sure it's a place that you can visualize in as much detail as possible. Step 2. Once you have your place in mind, you need to construct a path that you'll follow every single time. It's really important to use the same path every time, as this is going to create a clear sequence of events that'll create a story in your head. This story is what's going to turn this random bits of information into a cohesive line that you can follow. Step 3. Now you need to encode the information you're trying to memorize into pictures. This works best if you make the images as crazy as possible. So, for example, let's say I'm trying to remember to buy milk, eggs, bread, and deodorant. My trip might start with me at the gates of Whiterun. I can't get through because there's a cow in the way. The cow is laughing hysterically at some fool who is juggling eggs and wearing a loaf of bread as a hat. Now the Whiterun guards are trying their best to get this guy out of the way, but every time they get close to him, they vomit because he smells so bad. In this example, the cow reminds me to buy milk, the fool reminds me about eggs and bread, and the poor Whiterun guards remind me of what will happen if I forget my deodorant. Again, the crazier the image is, the better. Don't be afraid to add swearing, nudity, unspeakable horror from the depths of your twisted mind. The more emotionally jarring the event, the more likely you are to remember it. This is what I did for the deck of cards. I assigned characters to each card and placed the characters somewhere along the route. All of my diamond cards were Overwatch characters, all of my clubs were from DBZ, hearts were from Naruto, and spades were from the Adventure Zone. So, for my first 3 cards, I made the image of Cell fighting with Magnus over a wooden duck while Kakashi read a trashy novel trying to stay out of the whole thing. The whole exercise took me about 2 hours to come up with the characters for the cards and memorize them. That being said, like actual memory champions can do this with multiple decks of cards in a matter of minutes. It's incredible. So with practice, here's a test for you to make sure you got it. I need you to remember to hit the thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified whenever we release new content. Alright, well I gotta go. There's been a murder and they need my stunning intellect in order to solve the case. If only I can remember where I put my keys. In the meantime, keep leveling up, you.